So there are some quite creative things that we can do with timing if we make sure we set the BPMs for our patches. So in Let Go, I've got my BPM set to 126, which matches the song. And I've actually got an LFO set up on the synth on my top keyboard. That goes like that. So I've set that up in Serum. I'll show you now. So you can see it's got this dip in it. And what that enables me to do is, if I'm just playing stabs, you can see it never gets to the drop bit of it. But if I'm playing the section of the song that goes, then I can use that to do that cool kind of dip effect. So that's something that's cool that we can do with timings. It's quite rare to use this LFO technique, but sidechains are a lot more common. So let's take Heart of God. That's an example of a song where I might use a sidechain. So for the sidechain effect, I actually use a plugin called Kickstart. So what this does is it kind of just mimics the shape that you'd get from an actual sidechain. And you can choose a few different shapes in it. But you can tell Kickstart to either sync with MainStage's transport. So this is something that I tried initially. With MainStage, you can set it up so that when you press play, you can kind of press play so that it's in time with the song that you're playing along to. And then if you have arpeggiators, LFOs, and sidechains, they'll all be synced to it. The problem with that is in MainStage, when you press play, it stops all audio. So if you're not playing at the start of a song, then you could use that because you could try and sync it up, and you've got to kind of sync it by pressing it when you feel the beat. But if you're already playing, so if I'm holding down a pad and I want to resync it, if I press play, it will stop the sound of what I'm playing. So I found that doesn't work very well. But what this plugin has is an option to re-trigger when the first beat hits. So I've set it up to re-trigger when my controller sends a note to it. So I've set this button up here to, instead of sending a MIDI CC, it sends a MIDI note, and the Kickstarter plugins are all set up to listen to that, which means that I can just hit that to resync it. So I also have this knob set to the mix level, so that means that if I have to start playing and I'm not sure whether I've managed to sync it yet or not, I could go without it in, and then I could sync it. And I can use that to resync if I go out of time for whatever reason during the song, or I haven't managed to sync it properly. So that's a great way of doing sidechain kind of effects. So the other kind of rhythm effect you can use is arpeggiators. So I've got one set up if I'm playing keys 2 Ready or Not. So when I set up the arpeggiator, I've got it set up to reset mode, which means that when I press the first note down, it will sync that to the beat. So you can hear it's every time I hit it, whether I'm in time or not, it will start the arpeggiator at that point. And then once I hold it down, then it will keep the arpeggiator going at that tempo. So it's just a case of, so the way I would start Ready or Not would be, I'd just kind of fade that in through the intro, and then I would make sure that I kind of take all my fingers off and hit the first chord. And if I ever feel like I'm slightly out of time, all I need to do is kind of re-trigger it by taking everything off and hitting it again to resync it. So that's another way that I'm not relying on pressing play on MainStage in time. I'm just trying to hit those chords in time.